Buongiorno, Marcin. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, very well, thank you. Just had coffee, lavazza. I am a new
Italian
person.
coffee, an Italian coffee to start the morning.
Only Italian coffee, only Italian. No coffee if it's not Italian or South American, maybe. It's not coffee. It's not, coffee in Italy is different, yeah. Or even in Peru or in Colombia or somewhere, Brazil. Better.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much for being here today with us. And please, I would like
My
to
pleasure.
present yourself. Please tell about you.
Yeah, I'm just a data scientist in AI machine learning space, where I specialize or study or write or work on projects to do with artificial intelligence game theory and collusion model, which is taken from control engineering. And it does focus. It focuses on collusion. So communication is very, very important. Something that is missing out of algorithms. And work on many kind of different aspects of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I have to tell you that I love your post when you take these pictures to the things that you are doing. So these models, these algorithms. So I said, wow, because I love to write a lot. So I use the computer, but I love to write too. And when you take these pictures about your project, you say, wow. And I can imagine you are with all these papers around you trying to figure it out how to build a model or the things that you are doing. So that's very exciting. And you just have said that communication is very important. So how do you think soft skills are key in the artificial intelligence field?
I think that's a really good question. And I think one of the algorithms that is very positive and has high applicability, not just in a team, but on a global scale, is game theory. And it basically the cornerstone of collusion, which is cooperation between people, between agents, between all kinds of forms of I would say natural language processing. And I think this sometimes is missing. Almost, I think that the people think too much like a robot or too much in abstract terms from reality. So if you want to model the world, you cannot do it just like a machine, because we are living in a behavioral kind of global integration system. So the assumptions, I would say, sometimes are not incorrect. They're incorrect because they do not reflect the system you want to model, right? So if you want to model human behavior, human cooperation, then you cannot just do it with mathematics and physics and computer science.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Sometimes I have some talks with data scientists, and the way that they communicate is like giving instructions in a code. So, but I think, for example, empathy and trying to understand that, deliver the message, thinking about the language of the other person, not the language of Spanish, Italian, English, but the way, for example, not all people know the technical words about artificial intelligence or machine learning. So I think this is sometimes is a limit in the communication. But I'm really happy because in the last few months, I've seen a lot of people that is trying to send that message that we need to approach our message as data scientists to our stakeholders and trying to narrow and deliver the results in a way that they need to be meaningful and significant for our stakeholders. So I think this is key. In your life as a professional, how soft skills help you to arrive to this point of your career?
I think without soft skills, you are not developed fully as a human being, which means really that with experience in life, you have to accommodate many, the way that, yeah, exactly, the way even empathy works. And really, I do find that a lot of people are very more critical than constructive in today's society, and they actually avoid talking, communicating, which can solve a lot of problems very quickly. So they rely on really applications and chatbots, and this is quite regressive, because obviously you need good communication as a team to solve problems, and obviously use the talent of many resources, human capital resources, and things like motivation, you know, and teamwork, and kind of sharing ideas together, right? And I think this is, you know, you are building, you know, obviously the system was built on building walls, but I think now in the Corona period, you have to make sure that the walls come down completely, because people and they have to help each other, and they, you know, even I think even with the COVID vaccine, it was a joint effort to really re-engineer a vaccine with Turkish German scientist who was working for a pharmaceutical company, and that is the key, really. You know, I think this is actually like a wake-up call for humanity, for people. If you don't share these ideas, then you will be in isolation with yourself, and you know, and obviously that is not progressive for human development in general.
Yes, agree. And another thing that came out is on my mind is the fact that machine learning, artificial intelligence, for data scientists, we need a lot of time to figure it out, how to solve or how to provide results, accurate results. But not everything is perfect. For example, from the beginning, from the question, maybe it's not the right question, or maybe we don't have we haven't collect the right data to build a model. So frustration, I think, is a key word in this field. And I would like to ask you, how do you manage frustration because I think if you have if you are a data scientist, I think that you have this situation that you feel that you are doing something, and at the end maybe the result is not what you were expected. So how do you manage frustration?
I think yeah, I mean, frustration with the expectation of achieving results and so on. Well, if you don't enjoy what you do, then you cannot do it. So if you don't enjoy data science, then you will be frustrated very quickly. So I'll give you an example. You know, my father wasn't, you know, you always asked him, because he's passed away 3 or 4 years ago. Do you like your work? And he said, no, I don't like my work. I love it. I love it. And this was his love. Yeah. And I think very few people can say this in the world we live in. But coming back to your question, yeah, frustration is born out of your expectation of future results. And if your future results are uncertain, it's difficult. The point is that you have to like what you do, and you have to like the process, which is sometimes very painful and daunting and exhausting. But that's part of, obviously, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, how things work and discovering how they work so you can replicate and improve them and build applications in terms of many different domains, and simply even genetic algorithms have come across many periods of being revolutionized, and even in AI. So I think even in one lifetime, you can have many different variations of algorithms that have been around for centuries. So it's a very fast-paced environment, which teaches you, I would say, to be more humble than expect, because there's many people who are just simply doing so many other things that you will see maybe in 2 or 3 years. So that is, I think, very important to remember, not to think just as one, but as a global kind of organism or structure, and like an ant doing your little work for the good of a community. And I think that's a good time to appreciate this.
Yes, that feel that we are not alone. That the frustration is not for us, it's in general.
Everybody.
Yes, it's part of being
frustrated. Oh, it's I would like to, but okay, I go training, I go on my bike, I kind of do sports or whatever. But whatever works for you, you can go for a walk to the park. It's very unlikely that you be successful very quickly and know everything. But there are people who think like a robot. Yeah, they just do code. But that is not data science. You have to think outside the box in many different ways to join everything together. And it only comes with time and experience. So don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of being the best. If somebody else is better than you or learns quicker, don't be happy for that person. And I think only a team can progress further than one individual in that scenario. Simply, there's too many things to do, and obviously sometimes you have to risk. If you do not risk being incorrect or correct, then you will never know. So risk is also part of. A lot of people do not like risk because it's unpredictable, uncertain. So they don't risk. They just stay inside the circle, inside the comfort zone. And most people do not like to be taken outside the comfort zone. But it's part of life. That is part of life. And sooner or later, like now, you have to be outside the comfort zone. And that's just part of the way data science works. A lot of the classical stuff is very good, but there's a lot of new stuff which is interlinked to produce better solutions, I would say, better applications. And I think this is evolving and will evolve for many decades to come.
Yeah, that's Amazing, because I think the evolution of the technology, the evolution of the human being, is thanks to taking risk. So at the end,
Yeah.
leaving our comfort zones lead us to new findings. And I think that that's exciting, because you discover that there are other things, and to take this kind of risk is like rewarding. I love this, the challenging. So when something is new and you have to approach it in a new way, you are learning, and you are giving the opportunity to humanity or to your team to learn more things. So I think this is very exciting. And another thing that popped up in my mind when you were talking and sharing your thoughts, it's about the asking for help. Because people, when they don't want to fail, and they pretend to be always right, but sometimes just ask for a question if you have some doubts can help. In your case, how do you manage that, or how can you advise people? Because I know a lot of people, and maybe I can include on this list, that sometimes it's difficult to ask for help, but you have mentioned this cooperation. So in your experience, how is the best way of approach this, asking for information, for data, asking for help?
Yeah, that's such a wonderful question. I mean, asking for help is much easier for people with softer skills, right? So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where the people who do not have the soft skills have a difficulty in the first place of asking for help. And you can do it in a very passive, positive way and honest way, which I think is great, because as you said, everybody's a student and learning all sorts of different things. But to people obviously who have less developed, very competitive, very kind of I have to be the best all the time, then they find it difficult. And really, they only ask for help after they fail. For example, I had a friend who was doing a PhD. He always wanted to do a PhD, right? So he went to Spain, to Madrid, and in econometrics. And his expectation was that he was going to finish it, but he found it difficult. He just found it difficult. He found it difficult to asking for help, and his expectations and expectations of his parents got him to a point where he just broke down and had to rebuild himself, a bit like the phoenix. But sometimes maybe that's the only way to rebuild yourself, by failing, because failure is part of life, and learning, you learn from your mistakes. So in my opinion, it's just not, you have to fail sometimes to build, to rebuild, and that is human evolution in through centuries of the Roman Empire. Every kind of empire has its beginning, peak, and collapse. And I think this is almost like the human mind, where you have to let your mind fail, because you have to be honest with yourself. If you stand too close and hold on to something that you know you are losing, that is a poor leader, a poor manager, or a data scientist. You sometimes you have to go back to the beginning and start from the beginning, but you have to enjoy the process. If somebody is forcing you to do this in order for you to be successful, just in a very financial or academic way or commercial, then it's very short term. And I think this is what people forget, that if you spend 20 years writing research you probably do it because you like doing it, yeah, and it gives you some sort of
Great.
wonderful feeling inside. So I think this is like a approach, and also, you know, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. If you are going too fast, then you will burn out. And I think people now realize that the velocity is too high. The expectations of workloads are too high, and they are simply not managing this as well as possible. So I do find that people are taking too much onto themselves, onto their shoulders.
Yeah, and this is a great point, because everyone needs to show that they do the best thing, the best algorithm, the best results, and
Best of the best.
life is
Yeah.
not like that. So I really love this statement that you just said about the rebuild yourself from a failure. So we need to fail to rebuild ourselves, to be better, a better version of us, and to discover new things, as you said before. So everything is like a chain, no? Everything is connected, connecting the dots. Yeah, and yes, it's really. So when you are talking, just came to my mind a lot of things about soft skills, and thank you for that, because it's like a, yes, we need technical skills, but we need to compensate the soft skills, because we are working with humans.
The balance, right?
we are not working with computers, so we need computers to build our models to produce results. But I think the collaboration, everything is around humans, and the things that, for example, in the future, the new roles, the new jobs opportunities are connected for humans, are connected with soft skills, because everything that can be automated is artificial intelligence is going to do that. So we need to add value by being more humans, for using more our soft skills. So this is, thank you for everything that you have said until now. That is you are giving a lot of value to the soft skills. And now I would like to give you this space to talk about your projects. What are you doing now? If you can share your the project that you are working on now.
Yeah. No, I've been working on the kind of project for COVID masks by scanning your face with 3D facial recognition, to then kind of encourage people to wear masks and to have them kind of available through applications, mobile applications, and be able to kind of print them and wear them, because I believe that, but you have to kind of protect yourself. And I think the more the younger people will get used to it, then I think that's important. So it's like a 3D facial recognition of kind of to fit to design your mask for yourself, so it's not so boring. And so you know, if you go to a football match and you support AC Milano, which is my football team, I like AC Milano, very nice stadium, I like the stadium as well. And it's a good stadium. So now there are no fans. So I do believe that when people will return, people will be probably wearing a lot of masks, etc. So you can kind of make people more comfortable, knowing that they are protected with the football and sporting events, etc. So it's just like something. And engine recommendation system that basically kind of protects, scans wherever you are based on your location. So when you are in Lombardia, in Milano, It can give you where not to go, or what is the, you know, the rates, or where, you know, kind of things that can make people, yeah, as you said, not so alone, and can be accessed very, very easily to basically put them at ease, but also to protect them as well for travel, for you know, for all sorts of things. And in a way, I suppose it's more for the techie people, but also with people who might be going on holidays somewhere in the future, and they want to just know that there is no problems and they can keep up to date with all the information that is available based on their location, risk profile, age, anything they want. Hopefully, yes, the European Commission will embrace these initiatives and really yeah, bring people together by using technology. And I think that is probably something that the European Union can do very well.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, let's try to go to achieve the new normal. And yeah, thanks to technology, we can achieve that. Yes. And just one thing that I would like to ask you is, what is so exciting about explainable AI? What is why is so exciting?
Exciting, I think, is because it's extremely complex. There is absolutely no blueprint on how to do it. It involves interdisciplinary fields of statistics, computer science, physics, chemistry, biology, and really you are kind of competing more like against the machine, yeah, because really not everybody knows everything what is happening inside the algorithm. It's just simply too much. So you have to kind of slow down the process and go back in time to analyze the whole process from the data point of view, from data preparation, extraction, transformation, loading, from a mathematical point of view, of the theory, of obviously applicability of this as well. If this is really the best way to achieve your task, and obviously many authors focus on this, you know, like Casey Koshirkov and people from Google, where they obviously emphasize the point: can you do this in a more simpler way, or are you actually fitting the problem more into the AI domain, because it's the new thing, it's the new technology. And really, then I think, yeah, then it becomes a problem where explainable AI, it's almost, yeah, bears you naked to the criticism from every point. And I think you have to go through it, because obviously, like with everything, if you do not understand something, people will just not use it and will kind of fear it. So in order to reduce that, I think it's very essential that people kind of embrace the new norm and try to understand technology for what it is and for what it's not. And I think this is really, really important to understand, and not be slaves to the microprocessing chips, where the mathematical processing is taken away from them using automation, where, you know, you are actually increasing people's perception of intelligence and not taking it away from them by automating everything. So I think it's like a good policeman, bad policeman show. You know, you give a red card, you give a green card. You know, it's like this.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, this. this explain about AI. And thank you for explaining it in that amazing way. And thank you so much for your time. This is I really enjoy to know more about your projects, about the things that you are doing, the way that you think about soft skills. Thank you for sharing your experience that we are learning from all of you, the data experts. Thank you so much. And before say bye, I would like to see one of these amazing papers that you show in your post when you are working with your algorithms. So I love when you put these photos.
Yeah, one amazing paper.
Show me one.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I have many papers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. This is a good paper because this is a good paper, and this one is a good paper as well. But let's focus on the
You have a tower of papers. Oh my God.
So this is a good paper, yeah.
Oh my God. What is the title of that paper? Oh wow.
The title of this paper is this was a European Control Conference in 2013, something that my father was working on, and it's basically feedback control scheme for coordination of decentralized NMPC, nonlinear model predictive controllers, application to a full tank benchmark. Ruben Marti, Daniel Sarabia, and Cesar de Prada. It's very international.
Yeah, very international. No, I love all these papers that you always talk about in your post. So because it's the way. If someone has already done something, is to start learning from them and add some new things. So I think this is a great way of collaborate to contribute with the community to continue growing this artificial intelligence universe. So thank you so much, Marcin, and everyone who is watching us today, please follow him because he's a wonderful person and he has a very nice career as a data scientist. So we have a lot of things to learn from him.
Just Transformers here for Transformers,
Transformers. I need to
Dennis
start.
Rodman, yeah. I love you, man, Dennis. I love your book. I love your work, and I love criticizing it as well. I mean, this is what I do. But yes, I think, Giovanna, you have been so wonderful and so kind and so positive. So I thank you. Grazie mille. Yeah, and all I will say is don't believe the hype. Logic is your power, and it comes from your soul. So you don't need computers all the time to make all the decisions for you, because it's important to be open and take criticism in a positive way, and don't be afraid to fail. Nothing happens, and if this is something bad that happens in your mind, then just detach it from yourself, and that's it. So always happy to be here, and positive with people who are at home. They can always reach out to you, Giovanna, and see a very positive, smiling person with a lot of love and attention to people. And I think this is a win-win situation.
Thank you so much for your words, Marcin. You're amazing. And see you on LinkedIn. All the best for you and for your projects. Bye.
Bye, Giovanna.
Bye.
Bye.